The Champions League is back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the Bundesliga against top of the Serie A. Simone Inzaghi against Vincent Kompany. Inter versus Bayern Munich. Now, what are the tactics behind this massive blockbuster game? What are the tactics? What are the systems? What are the formations? What are each team's strengths? And what are each team's weaknesses? And I feel like advantage is on Inter's side, but of course I will break it down. Now, it's only right to start off with Bayern Munich. They sit top of the Bundesliga, and let's just keep it short and sweet. Every metric, they're topping this season. Shots on goal, Bayern Munich. Goals scored, Bayern Munich. Least amount of goals conceded, Bayern Munich. Possession won in the final third, Bayern Munich. They've topped a lot of the metrics in the German league, but how will this fare against Simone Inzaghi? Now, let's just break down how they set up, how they like to play, who their key players are, and what things should Inter really be looking out for. Now, it's safe to say Vincent Kompany has revolutionised Bayern. The brand of football that he's brought to the German champions, it's impressive, it's entertaining, it's penetrative, it gets the job over the line. And I always turn around and tell myself, listen, that brand of football, the ethos, the principles, the setup structure, it takes a lot of inspiration from the Italian Roberto Zerbi. Now, they like to set up in the 4-2-2-2, but it's a very narrow 4-2-2-2 where he's got Harry Kane, Musiala playing in that second layer of two in the final third. So basically what it means is Musiala and Kane would drop deep. And when they do drop deep, one, they help the midfielders, but two, the space they leave in behind in the final third is now occupied by the wingers. It's just a decoy move where the players in central areas drop deep, dragging the centre halves with them, and then the wingers tuck inside and make runs inwards. Why do Bayern Munich do this? Why has Vincent Kompany instructed his players to do this? Because he knows he knows Harry Kane's ability on the ball. It's amazing. This is a dude that was playing as a number 10 at Tottenham. His passing range, the fact that he can spot runners in behind, I can use that to my strength. Musiala, he's not a player that you're going to be putting balls over the top for him to run onto. You want to give the ball to Musiala to feet because of how good he can carry the ball. This system, it benefits every single one of his attackers. So remember, a 4-2-2-2, but very narrow, where the attacking players drop deep, the wingers make the runs inwards. Now, Bayern's secret weapon this season is the fact that they can play ground football. They can retain the ball. Like on average this season in the Bundesliga, they average 70% of the ball per 90. But where they stand out more than anything is this is a very direct Vincent Kompany team where depending on the situation, depending on the in-game dynamics, sometimes it might just take one ball over the top and they're in. They've shown a very broad style to their build-up to getting the ball into the most dangerous areas. But let's just say when they do get into the opposition half, they like to set up in a 2-3-2-3 shape. Now, where the primary focus is, they like to overload the central areas. And this is where, once again, similar to what I said about Harry Kane and Musiala, you begin to see a lot of focus on these players' technical ability in those tight, congested areas. They want the central overloads. They want to drag the opposition players into areas that they're not comfortable. And then either they keep passing the ball and moving the opposition and seizing the opportunity on the space that presents itself, or they get the ball out wide to their mavericks. Players like Michael Olise, who, let's just say, the step up he's made from Crystal Palace to Bayern Munich this season. This dude is having the season of his life. This dude is cementing his name in one of the greatest clubs in Europe. But you could see there's a blend. There's a team that can play direct football, but there's also the elements of Vincent Kompany's Burnley where they wanted to play ground football. They wanted to retain the ball. They wanted to squeeze the opposition in their own half and capitalise on the space. So in their opposition half, they set up in a 2-3-2-3, overloading the second and third phase with their bodies, giving them that numerical advantage. Now, what is Bayern's weakness? It's a strength and it's a weakness depending on how the opposition play the game. Bayern off the ball, they like to go man to man all over the pitch. First phase, second phase, third phase. They go man to man all over the pitch. Man to man for me is the riskiest method off the ball because you require an elite level of communication, an elite level of commitment, an elite level of concentration. Let's just call it the triple C's. You need all of those things because all it takes is one breakdown in communication, one breakdown in concentration, one breakdown in commitment, and the opposition are in. Because now there's an opposition player that's free, but they go man to man all over the pitch. Then they like to sit back in their 4-2-3-1 shape, which is compact. They overload the centre. They've got the wingers helping the fullbacks out wide. And then they've got Harry Kane spearheading the press. Now, having said all of that, why did I say at the beginning of the video that Inter have got the advantage? Let's just say, as of late, Vincent Kompany's Bayern Munich, they've had a lot of injuries. Let's just say a lot of injuries to key penetrative players, especially in the system that they like to play. Going into this game, Jamal Musiala is ruled out. Alphonso Davies is out for the season. Manuel Neuer is out. Upamecano is out. Kingsley Coman is out. Ito, the centre-back, is out. And Pavlovic is a doubt. But from what I've read, it looks like he will miss the game. These are big players. These are, you can make a case, some of Bayern's best of players. And these are players that have a big impact. Like for me, the biggest miss is Jamal Musiala. Like I literally spoke about him in the beginning of the video, how his ability to drop deep, connect the dots, pick up the ball in those tight, congested areas, and just hurdle past players, beat the opposition press. It's a game changer. It's what's revolutionized this Bayern team, this squad, Vincent Kompany. It gives a team a boost when you've got a player of his technical ability, and he's being ruled out. So that definitely favors Inter. But where can Inter, now we're all very familiar with the brand of football that Simone Inzaghi's Inter like to play. The 5-3-2 off the ball turns into a 3-5-2 in possession. Marcus Thuram, Lautaro Martinez. Where can Inter get joy at the Allianz Arena? Now, in my opinion, the first battle is the midfield battle. Now, as you guys remember, at the beginning of the video, I said Bayern, they like to set up in the 2-3-2-3 shape when in possession. Now, the one thing that becomes crystal clear is they've got a midfield trio, the 2-3. There's a midfield trio. Inter, whether it's the 3-5-2 or the 5-3-2, in or out of possession, they've always got a midfield trio. Çalhanoğlu, Mkhitaryan, Barella. It's going to practically be man-to-man. That midfield battle, it's like they always say, win the midfield battle and you've won 75% of the game. The midfield battle is something that I'm going to be focusing on, and I feel like everybody needs to focus on it because they're two teams that play two different brands of football, even their midfielders. Completely different profiles, completely different skill sets, completely different principles of play. Number one is the midfield battle. Inter, they need to be physical. They need to be aggressive. But on top of everything, they need to be direct. Now, why? Why do I say they need to be direct? When you look at the 2-3-2-3 shape, or even when playing out at the back, the 4-2-2-2 formation that Bayern like to set up in. We said at the beginning of the video, it's a very narrow 4-2-2-2. They tuck their wingers inside. They keep their midfielders in. They practically tuck all of their attacking plays into those central areas by making those inwards runs. So if you're tucking everybody inside, the space out wide becomes open. And that's why I call it the width battle. The battle out wide. Now, especially for a team like Inter. Inter are the complete opposite. Inter want to get the ball out wide. Inter want to get the ball to DeMarco. Inter want to get the ball to their wing backs. They are their most penetrative players. They are their primary weapon. DeMarco is back. So why I said Inter need to be direct is when they do retrieve possession and Bayern are in that 2-3-2-3 shape. Listen, it takes a matter of seconds for players to get back into their 4-2-3-1. It means the flanks are open. If the centre halves shuffle across to occupy the width, it means the space in central areas becomes open for somebody like Lautaro Martinez, like Marcus Thuram. Inter need to be direct when they do win the ball. Go for the attack, launch the ball into the channels. That is where the space is, that is where the time is, and that's where Inter's best players are most dangerous. So for me, it's a midfield battle. It's an out wide battle. It's just a battle of two different systems, two different managers, but one team top of the Serie A, the other team top of the Bundesliga. Now, what is my prediction? It's a tough one to predict. The Allianz, I would probably go for a 1-1/2-2 draw, but I feel like at the San Siro, you will see a different Inter. And I feel like at the San Siro, Inter go on to win the game. So overall, I could see Inter winning this tie. But listen, it's due to be a blockbuster of a game. Now, I would love to hear you guys' predictions in the comments. Let me know, what are Bayern's strengths? What are Inter's strengths? Which key players should we look out for? And I will definitely be here to review the game tomorrow evening. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on another one.